Hello, everybody. Welcome to Browns and Beyond, your home for Cleveland Browns content, NFL content, and other sports content. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you stay locked in with all the latest sports content. And most importantly, drop us a comment. We want to hear your thoughts. Well, boys, it's Browns Sunday, NFL Sunday. Dave, how are we doing? Are you excited for the Lions or what?
I am. I'm excited to come off of a victory from last week. I'm excited about this matchup with the Lions. We're going to get into that. And, I was also saying to Steve, we want to throw it. Our guards made the playoffs last night,
yes,
so we're all
do.
very proud of that.
Yes.
As I mentioned to Steve earlier, I think this is the best sports time of the year. I don't think there's a better sports time of the year than the month of September, and then I think the month of October kicks it up another level.
Yeah.
Because you get all three sports coming together. You get the start of basketball, football,
I agree.
And then the MLB playoffs. I think it's just great.
Great walk-off hit by pitch for the Guardians yesterday. And they into the playoffs today. We get to find out their fate as far as the division.
Yes.
So that's good to know. Steve, give us some of your thoughts about some of this excellent sports excitement that's in the air right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, guys. I want the Guardians to win the division. I want to be greedy. Let's beat Detroit.
I agree.
Let's win the whole division.
Yeah.
And then have the home field advantage.
Let's make it a bad day for those folks up in Detroit, Steve.
Yes, exactly. Yes. In two different ways.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They could have a double whammy day here as far as if they lose. Yeah, the Tigers are losing. And remember, the Cleveland Guardians have the tiebreaker with the Detroit Tigers.
Right.
So a Cleveland Guardians win automatically puts them into the division.
Texas, right?
Or if Detroit loses, we're in there too. Yeah. So, anywho, we're going to get right to it, guys. We have a big Browns matchup today, the Browns versus the Lions. I've been looking forward to this game. I remember we were looking at the schedule. At first, I think, I'm not sure about you guys, but I remember the rumblings going around, well, this was going to be a tough matchup. We're going to get blown out. Not close at all. With that Browns defense the way it is, boys, I kind of feel like this one could be a little closer and maybe a victory coming, or we'll keep it close.
Do I sense some optimism?
I do.
I like to hear that.
I don't know if they win, but I think it's going to be close. And I don't think it's going to be a rout like that. But I'm going to turn to Mr. Steve Retzer. And Steve, kind of lead us in here to this Browns versus Lions matchup. What's your thoughts on this week's game?
All right, boys. Well, last week the Browns got a big win over the Green Bay Packers at home, while the Lions beat the Ravens at home. Or that was
in Baltimore.
Sorry, in Baltimore.
Yes.
David Montgomery ran all over the Ravens. The Lions sacked Lamar Jackson 7 times. This game should be a different outcome, however. Offensive coordinator Johnny Morton knows the Browns' defense is tough, but said, I don't think they've seen a run game like ours.
Ooh.
I do think the Browns can stop the run game of Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Only thing is, we got to stop 2 running backs, guys.
Yes.
We've only had to stop 1 in the previous games. So that's the difference in this, and that's going to be tough. The Browns' offense cannot go 3 and out all day. That's very important.
No.
If they want to beat the Lions, they're going to have to be able to run and pass on them. The Browns need to control the clock. I probably say that every week, but they really need to if they have any chance of winning games.
Real quick,
can't make that defense tired, Dave.
Real quick with that, Steve. So you think they need to control the clock, time of possession, but do you also think they need to be aggressive offensively?
Yes.
There's a lot of this, I'm going to get into it, short passes with Mr. Flacco.
Yes.
We need some down the field stuff eventually, don't we, Steve?
Yeah.
They can't keep doing the same thing.
Can they open up the
with
playbook,
Cincinnati
boys?
and everyone.
I think they have to.
They need to open it up. It's that time. We're getting to week 4 now. I mean, come on, what are you waiting for?
And now you got Judkins. Maybe that allows you to be a little more dynamic.
Yes.
Right? Because now you got to worry about the running game.
What you're hoping for is some play action. Maybe that opens some stuff up down the field.
And speaking of, they need to run workhorse Quinshad Junkins at will. I think they should run him 20 times to have a chance in this one.
I agree.
I think we need to play the Lions game, meaning we need to run Dylan Sampson, involve him too, just like how they do Gibbs and Montgomery.
Maybe some short passes out of the backfield.
Some passes to Sampson. Yeah. I'm not expecting a lot of carries, but a few passes. Get him involved like Detroit does. Play their game a little bit.
Right.
I'm hoping the Lions since they got to Lamar, who's fast, that they won't get to Joe Flacco, who stands as like a statue, as we know, and is slow. Just reverse effects, you know what I mean? Like, they did it last week, can they not do it this week? You know what I mean?
That may depend on those boys up front, Steve. I don't know. They need to do their job.
If the line can hold their blocks, Flacco will have to release the ball out fast. And like we just said a few minutes ago, guys, he cannot be throwing 7-yard passes all day long.
Yeah.
Jack Conklin should be ready for this one. He's questionable with the elbow, but I believe he's back and ready to play. So we should have a full force, full line. We know DeJuan Jones was out.
Yes.
And Lucas is in, but that's expected. So we have our full line.
We are for sure that Conklin's going to play, or is that a game time decision?
I hear he's questionable, meaning I think he's going to play, guys.
Wow. Okay.
Joe Flacco, he nearly got benched last week. And to remain the starter, Dylan Gabriel, he could be waiting in the wing ready to play, guys. And so we're going to have to watch out for that. Flacco's going to have to find a way to connect with his number one receiver, Jerry Jeudy, like Jameis Winston did last season. Stefanski needs to look to change up the offense a little bit. And like we just said, throw down the field. You guys are right. Open this playbook up, man. You're in week 4. This isn't week 2. Come on. You got to start opening it up. What are you waiting for?
Well, here's what I would say.
What are you holding back?
It's not necessarily need to be bombs away, but throw some crossing routes. Throw that deep 15, 20-yard out. Do some mesh,
didn't look creative.
Do some rub routes. Do something.
Creative.
Because it just can't be screen game and swing passes. And the check down Charlie that some of the people have talked about this week. You have to make a living by throwing those intermediate routes in the NFL. We need to see more of that from Flacco. He's got the arm still, I believe.
I believe that Flacco last week, and we talked about this, Dave. He kind of reminded me of the Colts Flacco. He did not look like the 2023 Flacco.
Yeah.
And that's a concern. His balls, if you saw some of it, he overthrew guys.
Well, he was off. Like we talked about in the review, he just seems slow, not only in the area of lack of mobility, but even processing. It just seems slow.
And I hope those receivers are running the right routes and all that, too.
Yeah, he could use some help there.
Know. And like you said, they need separation. They really need...
Yeah. Continue, Steve.
Yep. Rookie Harold Fannin Jr. needs to rebound and have a big game.
Yeah.
Flacco, he likes David Njoku. He had a good game last week. Cedric Tillman, he's a little banged up, guys, just to let you know. But Flacco likes connecting with Tillman, and hopefully in the end zone. We'll see.
Yes.
We will see about that. Let's get to the Browns' defense. The Browns' defense is elite, as we all know, and I expect that. Defensive tackles Malik Collins and rookie Mason Graham are plugging up the holes. Collins looks to be a very nice veteran pickup, guys.
Yeah.
And Michael Hall Jr. injured once again, so just to let you know there, he's out again.
You know what? Barry has made some good moves on the defensive line over the years, I think.
Yeah.
We've criticized him. He brought in Tomlinson a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he was solid.
He was solid. Yeah. Now you bring in Malik Collins, who's solid. So they have been able to plug some holes on the defensive line when necessary.
Absolutely. And when Michael Hall Jr. comes back, imagine how much better this line's going to be, which is already the best in the business.
Yeah, good depth piece,
Absolutely. Myles Garrett should already be named Defensive Player of the Year, and we're only in week 4, guys.
Yes.
The guy's amazing.
Yeah, he's been great.
Defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz said he would have his best season yet, and he wasn't kidding about that.
Yeah, and the great thing about him is he opens up things for other people on that D-line. He's going to make Alex Wright a better player.
Yep.
It's the Parsons effect that he had on Gary with the Packers. It's like when you have a great receiver, I always say this, the big-time receiver gets doubled, the other guy on the opposite side benefits.
Absolutely.
Yep. I love the rotation of Alex Wright and Isaiah McGuire.
Yeah.
One game Wright gets a sack, the next game McGuire gets a sack. It's like they're going game in hand,
Yes.
I like that. The secondary looks strong with Ward and Newsome, and safety Grant Delpit played a great game last week. Miles Harden, Dave, we talked about this.
Yes.
He's got to play better. Or insert Cameron Mitchell more. Maybe get Mitchell in there.
Yeah, that Emerson injury just continues to loom large.
The
only thing that would negatively affect this team really would be an injury to either Newsome or Ward at corner.
Oh, yeah. And we need turnovers once again.
Yeah.
And Detroit is tough at home, but they are beatable, guys. I'm going to get a Dan Campbell. He should have his team ready to play, but I'm hoping the loss of their coordinators affects the play.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is obviously a solid quarterback who can really throw the ball, especially down the field. Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown are always tough to stop. St. Brown, he's one of the best in the business, guys, so you're going against one of the top receivers in the whole NFL.
They do a good job of utilizing him in different spots. Be interested to see those matchups, by the way.
Exactly. I'm a little worried about Jahmyr Gibbs because he's excellent in the backfield to throw passes to.
Yeah, catching it out of the backfield.
Catching out of the backfield.
Yep.
Make it to the Lions defense.
Yep.
They're led by Aiden Hutchinson and safety Brian Branch.
Yep.
So we're going against another good defense, guys. I mean, it's kind of tough. The Browns can stay in the game if they can be ran on, especially like with Judkins. Flacco needs to throw the ball away before he gets picked off by the Lions defense. I don't want to see a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
But you might get your one like he usually gets. Let's just not make it more than that.
Sure. Yeah, please no.
I'm hoping.
Please no.
Right.
Well, we might see a different quarterback if we start to see turnovers.
Or you could.
Yes.
I'm hoping the Lions will run out of juice after beating the Ravens 38-30 last week, but I think they will be too tough for the Browns to handle, guys. We just can't score enough offensively. I have the Lions winning 24-17. It will not be a blowout.
Okay.
Jared Goff will be too much to handle, but the Browns stay in the game. Go Browns.
All right. Well said, Steve. We're going to head over to Mr. Dave Greenshield. Dave, I know you've been looking forward to this matchup for a little while now.
Yeah.
Browns and the Lions, and can we get that victory, you think, this weekend, or what? What's your take on the matchup?
Well, this one's going to be yet another tough test against a team that's a legitimate Super Bowl contender in the NFC. Both teams coming off of big wins. The Browns beating the Packers. The walk-off field goal by Steve's guy. He's coming to the family reunion, Steve. The 55-yarder to win it. The Lions, they bullied the Ravens. You know what? I called that game. That was my game of the week last week. I really felt confident the Ravens were going to win that game at home, but they bullied the Ravens in that game. You know, very impressive in a 38-30 win. In this game offers yet another big-time matchup for the Browns defense. And I would say this offense features the best group of combined skill players in the NFL. And I think that's when you take all backs, receivers, and tight end into consideration. That's what the Browns are going to be up against. And I think it lends itself to some great matchups, individual matchups in this game. No surprise, this was the highest scoring offense in the NFL in 2024. Let's start with what I think could be the best pair of backs in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. You with me on that one, Steve? I don't know if
I agree with you, especially with Montgomery having, 251 yards against the Ravens. I almost forgot about him. I was thinking, Gibbs, but no, it's a 1-2 punch, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, for this team to come off a 224-yard rushing performance against the Ravens front seven is impressive. I mean, the Ravens last year were the best run defense in the NFL. So to go in there and run the ball at them like that, I was really impressed. I don't know if you guys watched that Monday night game, but I was certainly impressed by what they were able to do. You know, I would also say, this Browns run defense, which has been the best in the NFL, remember, we shut down Josh Jacobs. We shut down Derrick Henry to a combined 53 yards rushing in the last two games. The Browns defensive line versus the Lions offensive line, that's where the rubber meets the road. And there's some really good matchups here. Mason Graham and Malik Collins versus Graham Glasgow and Tate Ratledge on the interior of that line.
Yeah, the Lions have a good offense, right?
Yeah.
Well, offensive line.
Well, I said last year I thought it was one of the two best in the NFL. I thought it was them and the Philadelphia Eagles. They did make some changes. They lost Zeitler. They lost Frank Ragnow at center, where Graham Glasgow has stepped in at that position. And Ragnow was a really good player. So I wondered if they were going to be as dominant last year as they were this year as they were a year ago. Pardon me. But they showed it against the Ravens. The other key matchup is going to be the two tackles. Decker, who's been a mainstay over there, and Penei Sewell versus Myles Garrett, the best defensive player in the NFL. By the way, I haven't seen anyone better. If you could give the defensive player of the year right now, wouldn't you guys have to give it to Myles Garrett?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I think it's hands
down.
So I have to say, that's going to be really interesting to see how they deal with Myles. First and foremost, they have to stop the run, or they at least have to contain the run. If they get upwards of 150, 200 yards rushing, it's going to be tough. But, the Browns have the best run defense statistically in the NFL right now, I believe. Right, Steve?
Exactly. Yeah, they're number one.
Yeah, this will be their biggest challenge yet, especially with Gibbs, who's very elusive, and Montgomery, who's more of the hammer. The run game is a big part of their offense. They do a lot of under-center stuff. Watch them do some play action with Jared Goff. As far as Goff goes, he really got off to a bad start. He had to face that Packers defense in Green Bay, which is very difficult. We all know that.
Yes.
But this season he's returned to form. He's at 7 touchdowns, only 1 interception. That was in the first game, with a completion percentage of 77%. He's not the most athletic quarterback. I think the key with Goff is you've got to get him off of his spot. It'll be interesting to see if the Browns pass rush can do that. He's one of those quarterbacks, Steve, that I think he's got to be comfortable in that pocket.
If we could play like how Washington defended him, remember how bad he played that Washington playoff game?
Yeah.
If the Browns could simulate something like that,
yes,
then we could be in for a good game.
Well, I think that was him just having an off day. I mean, the guy threw, what 4 or 5?
He's a good player.
4 or 5
he's a good
picks.
quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, that was the combination of Goff having a bad day in that playoff game and then running into your guy, Mr. Daniels.
Yeah,
with a beat-up defense. Because remember, they didn't have Hutchinson, and they were without a lot of key guys into that game. So, he's not the most athletic quarterback, but when you get him off of his spot, you can affect him. It'll be interesting to see if the Browns' pass rush can, affect him in that way. Taking a look at it, the matchups on the outside versus the Lions receivers are going to be really interesting to me, Steve. You mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's one of the most complete receivers in the NFL. Route running, hands. He's combined for 16 receptions in the last 2 weeks. He's got 6 total touchdowns on the season. And watch out for Jamison Williams. He's got the speed to get behind the defense. The Browns run a ton of man coverage. The interesting thing in this one for me is going to be Newsome and Ward versus Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams. I think that's a great on the outside matchup to watch in this game. We always talk about how we match up against Higgins and Chase with the Bengals. I think this is, somewhat similar, Steve.
This will be challenging a little bit.
That's for sure. So that's going to be interesting to watch. I would also watch out for Grant Delpit at safety. He had the key interception last week. I think since last season he's been playing some of his best football. Even in coverage, I think he's been great. I would also watch out for Matt LaPorta at tight end. He had a big year last year with 60 receptions and 7 touchdowns. He's yet another threat. See, this is the thing about their offense. They have so many threats.
So many weapons.
That you can put out into the passing game. You have a tight end to worry about. You have 2 receivers. You have a good pass catching back, as you mentioned.
I'm still worried about Gibbs in the pass.
Catching those swing passes, absolutely. Screen game. So when you have an A, B, and C in your passing game, that makes you so tough to defend. So that's going to be interesting to see. On the other side of the ball, I've got to get into it. The Browns face, I think, a Lions defense that's got some really good personnel. Again, they had injuries going into the playoffs, and I think that's what derailed them a year ago and really cost them a chance at a good Super Bowl run. The key guy is obviously Aiden Hutchinson. He's developed into one of the best pass rushers in the game. He's got 2 sacks in the last 2 games. He forced the key fumble on Derrick Henry.
Knocked that ball out on Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I really thought the Ravens you had a little bit of momentum. It was 28-24. You have the ball. You got Lamar. You got Henry with the ball. Chance to win the game, and he makes the key play, forcing that fumble. The guy was sorely missed last year, and he lost pretty much all the season after that, week 5. So to lose him was huge for Detroit. I would also add the Browns may be without both starting tackles. We know it's Jones, but you're saying Conklin may play, right, Steve?
Yeah, I believe Conklin's going to play.
That's the interesting thing. We give Conklin that contract, and now all of a sudden he's got injury problems. So
right.
Yeah. Well,
he's got a nice home in Cleveland.
Well, that's true. Yeah, he's not getting any younger. Well, none of us are getting any younger. I'm going to throw that out there. Well, that would be an ouch if he was missing, but if he can go, that'll help. But it'll be interesting to see and watch Joe Flacco. He's really had his struggles the last couple weeks. His completion percentage has been 55, 58. He's missing throws, as we talked about. There hasn't been a downfield passing game. Again, he looks slow in the pocket. He's been doing a lot of check down Charlie, dinking and dunking. We need to get vertical on this defense, as we talked about.
Do you see a QB change in the game?
Well, here's the bottom line. I was going to get into that. I think the first half, guys, is going to dictate a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it has to get bad. I think Stefanski, and it was getting bad last week, but the defense kept Stefanski from making that change. We were talking about it in text chain last week.
Yes.
That when you looked at this and you were looking at it, he was struggling, but the defense was keeping. You were always one play away. And when you're one play away in a football game, you never know what can happen. And Junkins popped that big run, and that kind of got us to 10-3. And then the defense saved us. It saved Flacco.
We have to have some kind of offense, though, Dave.
Yeah,
that defense is as great as it is. They're going to get tired.
Yeah,
so we have to have offense.
You have to have it.
Got to.
And the defense, they will check out during the season. If they get worn down, they just will.
Well, this is the type of game where I think the and I'm going to get into this in my prediction here shortly. Is that you hope it doesn't wear down by the fourth quarter, because this is an offense with so many weapons, as I just laid out. That eventually one of these guys is going to hit you.
They're going to get loose, and they're going to
They're going to create a big play.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So again, he's looked slow in the pocket. I want to see that first half. Obviously, the big key, Brent, is if he throws a pick or two. Then it could be time for a change.
Maybe Dylan time,
Yeah. So the Browns have to establish a down-the-field pass game. Pass pro is going to be a huge key. You got to block Hutchinson especially. Let's hope our tackles hold up. Lions D coordinator Calvin Shepard has been playing some zone this year, so there may be some openings in the middle of the field. Flacco's got to find a way to get these receivers the ball, and the Browns receivers need to do something. I mean, Jerry Jeudy was a 1,200-yard receiver last year, Steve. Have we seen any of that this year?
He looks non-existent so far this year. He's got to get involved.
Yeah, and your boy Tillman, Steve. What about your boy Tillman? Can we get some plays?
Wasn't he at Retcher's reunion last week? They had a picnic or something, and his mom got Tillman like some baked beans and some.
He's banged up, but he's playing.
But you know what? Every once in a while he'll make a play. But this team has a group of wide receivers of 2s and 3s. They do not have an alpha. Remember, they got Jeudy to be their number 2 opposite of Cooper. They didn't get him to be their number 1. So, but he's got to make plays. We need more than 4 targets for Harold Fannin Jr. in the passing game. That would also help things a little bit as well. The Browns need to be aware of Brian Branch. You mentioned him earlier. He's great in coverage, one of the better tackling safeties in the NFL. The Browns' run game needs to give him a hand. You're right. 18 carries last week, Steve.
Yes.
20 to 25 this week. Write it down. I think they have to just give him the ball.
20 minimum. 22 would be nice.
The tough part is the Lions probably know that too. They've got the film. They've watched the tape. I think it would be helpful for the Browns to maybe throw the ball on some early downs, try to hit some down the field throws, and then hit him with the run.
Even if his yards per carry are less, Dave,
yes,
it'd be good because at least we're running some clock.
Yeah, exactly. The interior of the Browns O-line needs to play well. This is an O-line that's really struggled in run blocking. It's going to be interesting to see how the interior handles a DJ Reader. Remember him with the Bengals, who's always very stout at defensive tackle and really good against the run. The first half of this game will be interesting. I think Flacco needs to get off to a good start for his confidence. It may be a matter of time, though. It may be a matter of time before we see Dylan. The Browns' offense needs to show some balance. They need to run the ball. And we need to work some play-action shots down the field.
You said something that I think that is right about the play calling with Flacco. It doesn't appear that they've maximized the best play calling for him because he is a statue and because he is a pocket guy and he needs the running game. They have to be very creative to get him the best plays.
Flacco's Stefanski's supposed to be a quarterback whisperer. Let's see something.
Well, I've always said the bottom line though with Stefanski, his offense works best. We have a 5-year, 6-year sample size now going on with Kevin Stefanski running the plays. When's it been at his best? When he's had a run game.
Yes.
Yeah. When we got him, I said that getting Kevin Stefanski, the best thing, once we got rid of Larry the Cable Guy after the 2019 debacle, I said, listen. He is, but listen, he's going to put the offense where it should be, which is on the backs of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. They have the best offensive line in 2020, and you got a really good version of Baker. That's the best version of the Kevin Stefanski offense, and ever since then it's been a slow decline. So, just my bottom line on this one: the offense versus defensive matchups are going to be fun and interesting. But the defense, Bright, you said it. It can only last for so long. The Flacco-led offense in the passing game needs to come to the party. We can't just dink and dunk, as I say. He needs to let it rip. The pass row needs to hold up. The wide receivers need to make some plays. The defense will keep them in this game for, I think, 3 quarters. But I've got the Lions pulling away in the fourth, 28-14.
Yeah. Well said, Dave. All right, we're going to get to the game of the week selections, and we will start with Mr. Steve Retzer, who has been on fire.
Yes, Steve.
I've been on fire, guys.
Undefeated.
Steve, I believe you're undefeated for the season, and congratulations on that.
Yes.
We will be coming up with some rewards and awards for
Wow.
for that.
Do I get a trophy?
Maybe like the Christmas vacation, the Jelly of the Month Club.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Remember Clark Griswold?
Oh, no, gift cards or something.
Yeah,
See, I was hoping I would win this, so maybe I could get a gift
I
card.
could
at Rex's
get,
Laconis.
I could give Dave a Laconis gift card.
Well, maybe I get 50 cents off of
Unlimited iced tea.
Yeah, we'll be giving some awards here as this podcast goes along. But Mr. Steve Retzer, give us your prediction and the game of the week for this week. What do you got?
All right, guys. I got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Eagles and Tampa Bay are both 3-0 so far this season.
Yeah.
Someone has to lose. Last week, the Eagles came from behind to beat the Rams in a close one. Tampa Bay was too close for comfort, but beat the Jets.
Somebody picked Tampa to go to the Super Bowl here, Mr. Keaton. Who was that guy?
That was me.
Yeah,
so
there you
that
go.
was me. And they're 3-0,
They're
so
playing
they're off
good.
to a great start. The all-time matchup with the Eagles and Tampa Bay is 11-11, so this game is very important. It's a very important one. Get this, guys. The Eagles are 1-3 in Tampa under Nick Sirianni, and the Eagles aren't good in hot weather. They've proven they don't play well in Tampa.
Oh, wow. It's a hot weather effect, I guess.
It is.
With Miami, it was always the cold weather effect. With them, it's the hot weather.
It's a hot weather in
Yeah.
September.
Right.
I went to a game with my dad last year. Oh my goodness, it is hot.
Yeah.
Versus Cleveland or something. It is just
What
crazy.
time of year did you go?
In September.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be really warm.
Man,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
September.
sizzling. Like, it was just sizzling hot, guys.
Yeah.
So get this. Jalen Hurts is 1-4 against Tampa Bay, and it's his most losses versus any team in the NFL. I thought that was an interesting stat, guys.
Baker knocked him out of the playoffs. Remember that was the team 2 years ago when the Eagles were dying down the
Eagles had
stretch.
a down year.
Yeah, exactly. They were playing poorly down the stretch, and Baker and the Bucs put them out of their misery.
They did.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay, is led by Baker Mayfield, who's had an MVP type season so far, guys. I think he's looking great.
He has looked good.
He's become the comeback kid.
He's a fraud.
Man.
He's a comeback kid too. He knows how to come back and win games.
Yes.
Much better than he did in Cleveland, that's for sure.
Right.
The running game is solid, and one guy Baker can count on is Bucky Irving. He's a really good running back.
I like Irvin at running back.
Now his yards per carry are down a little bit, but I think he'll do better as the year progresses.
See, this is a team, though, that's got health issues right now. I know you get into that, Steve, but that Mike Evans injury was nasty.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be getting into that.
Yeah.
When's he going to be back?
It's going to be a few weeks. It's hamstring, and he's had this problem before, so this is something that can linger. And he's not getting any younger, too, so, keep that in mind.
Absolutely. The other running back for Tampa Bay is Rachaad White, so he's a complimentary running back, and even better as a pass catcher in the run game. So anyway, Baker, he gets the ball out to a lot of receivers.
Yeah.
But like you just said, Dave, without star Mike Evans being injured, that's going to hurt him a little bit.
Yeah.
But guess who's back?
Yes.
Chris Godwin is back. First game back coming off of an injury. He's playing.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how effective he can be, though.
Rookie Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah.
He's had a sensational year. He's going to be, in my opinion, right, Dave, the clear number one receiver with Evans out.
Well, yeah.
I would like to think so.
He's going to have to step it up. I'm interested to see how effective Godwin is going to be in this one.
Yeah.
Because what you were hoping for with this team is to have a healthy Evans, healthy Godwin, and healthy Emeka. So you've got that really nice trio there. So.
Exactly. So he should be the top target for Baker today, in my opinion.
Either him or Emeka, maybe.
Yep. Sterling Shepard, he had a nice game against the Jets. He had 4 catches for 80 yards.
Yep.
So he shows that he can be involved. Baker can throw to different receivers.
Yeah.
Get to the Tampa Bay defense. Their defense is led by Hassan Reddick and veteran Levante David. He's still around, Dave. I know you thought he retired, but there was talk about that.
Yeah, there were rumors of retirement.
And he's still having good games and getting lots of tackles. So they're pretty tough at the linebacker position. Safety Tyke Smith leads the team in tackles. And guess what? The other safety is Akron's own Antoine Winfield Jr.
Great player.
Excellent
Great
player.
Yeah, loved them coming out of Minnesota.
The Eagles, they're led by the most underrated quarterback, that being Jalen Hurts. Last week he had 3 touchdown passes and no interceptions against the Rams. It's pretty impressive.
Hurts just, you picked the Rams in that game, Brent, and you were right. I mean, it was 26.
Great pick, for
Yeah,
sure.
it was.
Yeah.
Bad beat.
But Hurts just makes plays when he needs to.
He does.
I mean, he's
He
always
does.
noticed the weak link on a loaded roster, but when he needs to hit that 1 or 2 big throws, or when he needs to put together a big drive, he always seems to be able to get it done. Now, it helps that he's got the talent around him to do so, but...
Exactly.
You're right, though.
Running back Saquon Barkley, he's the star, but he only had 18 carries for 46 yards last week against the Rams. I expect a bigger game out of him against Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about that Rams game. They contained Barkley.
Yeah, they contained
They
him.
contained Barkley.
Yeah.
He didn't go off like he did in the playoff game last year, but Hurts was able to make the plays when he needed to.
Okay, A.J. Brown, he finally had a good game, boys.
Yep.
Over 100 yards receiving last week. Devontae Smith also had a good game. He had 80 yards receiving.
Right. It's a great 1-2 punch.
Tampa Bay is better known against the run, so these guys could go off again. It's possible.
Yeah.
They're better against the run than they are the pass. The Eagles' defense is tough once again this season. It's led by defensive tackle Jalen Carter.
Yep.
He also had a blocked field goal there was something about blocked field goals last week.
Yeah,
The Browns got one. He got one. I never seen so many in a long time, Dave.
Rams, Eagles, Tampa, our game, Browns game, yep. All
Yep.
over the place.
Cornerback Quinyon Mitchell and safety Dre Maguka are tough in the secondary. Zach Bond is a tough linebacker. And ex-Brown Zadarius Smith is there as well. Did you guys know Zadarius is starting on this Eagles defense?
Well, they've lost some depth pieces. We got into that in the offseason. Williams and some of these other guys that they had lost in the offseason. So I'm not surprised, that he's seeing some playing time.
Yeah. Well, boys, many people are picking the Eagles to win this game.
Okay, here we go.
But what most don't know is that Tampa has the Eagles' number. Tampa Bay beat the Eagles last season in September by a score of 33-16.
Yeah.
That was early in the season. Everyone forgets that. Tampa beat them. And they beat them in the Eagles in the playoff game 2 years ago, like you mentioned earlier, Dave.
Right.
So Tampa proves that they can beat the Eagles. And that's why I had them, going to the big dance.
You had them in the Super Bowl.
In the
That's right.
Super Bowl.
Yep.
And here we go. I think Baker is just too tough at home.
Wow.
The Eagles won't lose many games this year, but this is going to be one of them.
Got it.
I have the Buccaneers winning 24-21 over the Eagles with a game-winning field goal by Chase McLaughlin. Of course, a former Cleveland Brown.
Oh, there you go.
He's making kicks. He had a kick to beat the Jets to win that game. He's going to have a kick to win this game. Hey, guys, shoot the cannons off. Boom, boom. Go Buccaneers, baby.
Wow.
Get fired up, Steve.
Yeah,
I like Tampa Bay. I
So-
like Tampa.
You know what? You're a Baker, bro. Let's just be honest.
He is a
I
Baker,
am.
bro.
And my family is too. My family lives in Florida.
Yes.
And they like Tampa. I'm on the Tampa bandwagon after the Cleveland
That's his
Browns.
second team. My team would
After
be the
the Browns.
Commanders.
Yes.
I don't know if Green Shield's got a second team.
No, I got
Stays loyal to his
I'm
Browns.
staying loyal to the Browns.
Yeah,
Not like some people.
I got
around
the,
here.
I got what are they called? I got the side chick, and my side chick's the Commanders.
There you go. That's your side.
You like
Okay,
the
okay,
Commanders.
all right. Moving on.
Yes.
Well said, Steve. We're gonna get into Mr. Dave Greenshield, his game of the week
Yep.
selection. And Dave, what do we got going on this week? Who are you picking? And give us a prediction, a score.
Okay. My game of the week is the Green Bay Packers going into Jerry World. Can we call this the Micah Parsons game?
This is gonna
ladies
be a
and
wild
gentlemen?
This is it, yeah.
He's the guy that's going to be getting a lot of attention going into this one. We know it. It's going to be an interesting game for both teams. The Cowboys are coming off of a horrible performance in Chicago last week. They were on the wrong side of a 31-14 thumping by the Bears. The Packers are coming off that heartbreaking 13-10 loss to the Browns. The field goal at the end, losing that 10-point fourth quarter lead. It was tough. Bitter pill there. Let's start with the Cowboys. It appears that they're having issues on both sides of the ball to a certain extent. It wasn't the finest day for Dak. He did go 31 for 40 for 251 yards, but he did throw 2 picks, and the Cowboys were shut out in the second half. To add injury to insult of losing the game, They lost the services of CeeDee Lamb. It's going to be interesting to see how long he's going to be out. We know he's not playing this week. So it's an ankle injury, so he may miss a few games. The Cowboys are also having issues on the defensive side of the ball. The secondary was lit up again. You saw Caleb Williams go 19 for 28 for 298 and 4 touchdown passes. This secondary of Dallas is actually going to convince people that Caleb Williams is a good quarterback, which I don't think he is.
That might have been his best game ever.
Yeah, Well, the pass defense is vulnerable. I mean, the bottom line, it's the 32nd ranked pass defense in the NFL. The secondary has really gotten lit up. The corners, Elam, Bland, and Diggs have really struggled in coverage. It's going to be interesting to see. This could be a bounce-back game for Jordan Love. This could be what ails the Packers.
He's going to be ready to play
from last week.
He was embarrassed last week.
Yeah, he had struggles last week. We did see. We didn't see the Jordan Love of the first 2 weeks of the season. That would be the one that threw for 4 touchdowns and no picks and looked really comfortable and strong in the pocket. He was really off last week, and a lot of his throws through the costly pick to Grant Delpit, as we talked about in the review of the game. It's going to be interesting to see if Romeo Doubs and my rookie sensation Matthew Golden can do some damage in this one, take advantage of those weak corners and that poor secondary. I've been waiting for a breakout game from Golden. This could be it, and this is the secondary to do it against. The issue the Packers could have in this one is their offensive line. You really saw the Browns' defensive line take advantage of it last week. They had some injuries in that game that I think allowed Miles and the crew to take advantage of some situations. They're going to be without Aaron Banks at guard, possibly Zach Tom at tackle, so that could be big. It'd be interesting to see if former Packer Kenny Clark in the middle of that defensive line of D-tackle can take advantage of the absence of Banks at guard. The advantage on the interior of the O-line that the Packers may have had when they were healthy. It'll be interesting to see if they'll be able to hamper the ability of the Packers to run the ball. Josh Jacobs was slow last week, only 30 yards rushing. LaFleur wants to have balance with that offense. It's the one thing he's had ever since he had Aaron Rodgers with Aaron Jones. Now he's got Jacobs running the ball with to complement Jordan Love's passing game. So the other side of the ball should be interesting as well. Dak gets to see his old teammate. For his sake, not up close and personal, by the way. Let's hope it's not too close. The Parsons' influence on the Packers' defense has been big. The defense is 3rd overall. It's 3rd against the run, 7th against the pass, allowing the fewest points in the NFL. I mean, really, you may have saw a battle between the 2 best defenses in the NFL last week, Steve. That's how you get a 13-10 game, I guess. That's right. So it'll be really interesting to see. You know what he's done? As I mentioned earlier, he's opened up things for Rashawn Gary, who's already a really good player. He's having a great year. 4.5 sacks so far this year. He's just playing really good football. The Cowboys will be without tackle Cooper Beebe with a foot injury. It'll be interesting to see if Parsons and Gary and the Packers pass rush can take advantage of this. Also, I'm going to be interested to see Dak in this game. He's thrown the ball pretty well so far. 800 yards, 3 touchdowns. He does have the 3 picks. He's looked good at times this year. But what's going to be really interesting, and this is the biggest test that he's faced so far, easily, the best defense he's played against.
He's a big stat guy, Dave, I think.
Well, we had a little disagreement in an establishment last week about Dak being a good regular season quarterback and maybe not so good of a postseason quarterback. I think the guy heard just good and Dak and didn't hear me preface.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, that
was terrible conversation. Dave finally gave up. He's like,
well,
this is a lost cause. This guy, he wouldn't listen. He wouldn't listen.
No, I could have. He told him 2 + 2 = 4, and I think he would have found a way to disagree with me.
It was quite comical, though.
It was.
Being a spectator of all that, Dave, it was quite comical for me and Brent.
Keep doing that. We like entertainment.
We like that.
We like to bring our bar conversation into the podcast.
Sure we do.
It'll be interesting to see if George Pickens can step up his game. They're going to need him to. Pickens has 13 receptions for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. Remember, Steve, he was the number 1 in Pittsburgh. They really brought him over to be the number 2. They're also going to need contributions from Jalen Tolbert and Kevontae Turpin. It'll be interesting to see if they can step up as the number 2 and number 3 receivers. The Cowboys have gotten solid balance. Javonte Williams is having a nice year, averaging 5.3 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. I'm going to be really interested to see, though, if they can run the ball against this front 7. I really think this game is going to come down to Dak in the passing game and his ability to get rid of the ball quickly and find other receivers in the absence of CeeDee Lamb. Just bottom line, I'm going to get to my conclusion. I could see Dallas pulling off the win here. I really could see them pulling off the upset, especially if Dak gets hot. I feel that, he's the type of quarterback that could crack the code of this defense, but losing CeeDee Lamb, you're losing one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL. I don't know if Turpin, Tolbert, and these other guys can step up. Plus, the Packers' pass rush is that good. And I really think the big thing for me in this game is I think Jordan Love bounces back, especially against a weak Dallas secondary. They get a little bit of run game going with Josh Jacobs. I'm going to take the Packers, but I think it's going to be close. I got the Packers 24-20.
Well said, Dave. All right, I'm going to get to my game of the week selection, and I'm going to go with the Rams again. Just a little bit little bit of heartbreak
like the
last
Rams,
week.
Brent.
I did, Mr. Stafford. I felt I got a bad beat, guys, with that Eagles game last week.
They kind of let that one slip.
And I think they were up. They were up by 13 or something like that.
They were up 26-7.
26-7.
Yeah,
Yep, that's right. But then I know, So, anyways, bottom line on that is I gotta get a win on this one. So I'm gonna go back with the Rams here. And they're kind of, it's going to be a quarterback between Dave's boy, Danny Dimes.
And
Matthew Stafford.
Danny Dimes. I'm hearing that all day.
I know. Steve does a good Danny Dimes impersonation there by someone we know here in the podcast. Anyways, Stafford, 739 passing yards, 5 touchdowns throughout 3 games this season, operating on one of the league's top-ranked offenses. So the Rams, I kind of feel like they're going to keep things moving today against the Colts. Historically has found success against the Colts, amassing 1,586 yards and 11 touchdowns in 5 career matchups.
Yeah,
so he's done well.
Yeah, I think Stafford's going to play well. I heard that Adams may be nursing an injury. It's going to be interesting to see.
I heard that too, Dave.
If he plays, and if he plays, how effective he could be. They're going to need him. The Puka and Adams combination is really, really good, and they've been big time to this offense. But you know what? I got to say this about the Colts. Dimes, is playing well.
He's doing well. He is.
He's got a good supporting cast. The line is good. Taylor.
I think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a huge game today, Brent.
He could.
Yeah.
That's a good Rams front 7.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And the Colts pass rush still struggling this season a little bit to generate consistent pressure.
Yes.
Stafford should have the time to dominate the secondary with his elite receiving weapons, and it goes to your Dave's boy, Mr. Puka.
Yes, I love some Puka.
Big game last week for Puka.
So Danny Dimes, he's been a revelation for the Colts, leading their second-ranked scoring offense.
Yeah.
Starting about 816 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. Wow. And 0 interceptions.
You don't need Anthony Richardson.
On a league's best 71.6% complete. Danny Dimes has turned it around.
Yeah, and who was an AR guy here, by the way?
But to be fair, we're in a lot. Who wanted Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, to be their starter before the year began?
First of all,
I don't know anyone.
I just want to say this. Point of reference on Danny. This is the most talent he's had around him when you look at offensive line. Now, Taylor's, you can't put him in the Saquon Barkley category, but he's
a top 5 back.
He's a top 5 to 10 back in the NFL. And then you couple that. I like Pittman on the outside. I love that tight end Warren that they drafted.
Yes,
out of Penn State
year.
is a really good player. Yeah. So the weapons are around him to be successful.
And the defense is better than you think for the Colts.
It's underrated, but I think Stafford could pick on this defense a little bit.
I do.
I think,
and that's what I'm going to get to. The final prediction, given Stafford's advantage over the Colts secondary and his proven ability to generate big plays, and a high-octane offense is expected for the Rams. I predict the Rams will win in a shootout.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a big win. 42-24.
Wow.
They're going to put up some serious points.
Jeez.
But it's going to be a nice win for them. That's a blowout, boys. So anyways, that's my game of the week. We will get to the final segment of the podcast. That is the bold predictions for this week. And we will start with Mr. Dave Greenshield. Dave, take us. What do you got for your bold prediction?
Well, I just have to say, last comment on that pick of that wide margin, Brent, I might have to get on some DraftKings and make some wagering here this week.
Okay.
Well, it's legal now, so we can say that.
It's a thing. Yeah,
exactly.
It's a thing.
No, I was surprised you picked that wide of a margin, though. All right, let me get into my bold prediction. I've got J.K. Dobbins having a day. I've got him going for over 100 yards. Rushing and a TD against the Bengals beleaguered defense. He's had 3 straight games with the TD. He had a nice game last week against the Chargers in that loss. 11 carries for 83 yards with a touchdown. So I could see him having more carries in this one. I could see him maybe closer to the 20 carries, at least 17 or 18 carries against a questionable Bengals defense. And I'm being kind there, I think. This is a game that could get out of hand really quickly. I think the Bengals could be in a bad spot here. If Browning doesn't get it going, the Bengals are going to be in a lot of trouble because their offense, so much of their offense is centered around that passing game. It just is. And if it's not working, and we know the issues they had on the defensive side of the football, I think this one could get out of hand quickly. If there's a game that could get blowout fashion, it could be Bengals and Broncos. I think Dobbins is going to benefit. I've been a big J.K. fan since his days at Ohio State. I used to love it when Gus Johnson used to say J.K. all day. He's had injuries, early in his career in Baltimore. He missed, those seasons in 2021 and 22. I believe sometime even in 23. He bounced back and I think played well last year with the Chargers. Yeah. I'm expecting him to be a bigger part of this offense coming into the season. I think he goes for a little over a C note in this one with a touchdown. Go JK, OH.
All right, we will turn to Mr. Steve Retzer. Give us your bold prediction for the week and wrap us up.
All right, boys. The Titans are playing at the Texans. The Titans and the Texans are both winless. But my bold prediction is that C.J. Stroud will have 3 touchdown passes and lead the Texans for their first win of the season.
Wow. Okay.
I know this is pretty bold.
But there was a guy that predicted C.J. Stroud to have a pretty nice year this year. Did somebody say C.J. Stroud MVP this year?
I did.
By the way,
I did before the season started. They're not developing much offense, but it's early in the year.
Okay.
Steve, the season's like a quarter of the way done. Like, are you? I mean, come on. Are you?
I can't be delusional, right, Brent?
Are you? Hey, you know what? You know what I do see in your drink is Kool-Aid. Can I have some of that? I'm kind of thirsty.
By the way, to be fair, Brent, we did lose our MVP early in the season.
I know.
To be fair, that was injury.
We don't want to talk about that, Dave.
Please,
we need to talk about your. Hey, enough about me. Let's talk about you.
Yes,
I mean,
please.
Well, Dave,
just to focus on Steve.
C.J. Stroud should be able to carve up this Titans defense. Dave, remember you said the Titans secondary is not great. It's questionable. So that's why I'm predicting him to have a big game. Nico Collins and Christian Kirk should both have solid games, guys.
They need another receiver to step up. I mean, Tank Dell a few years ago was a big part of their offense, but he had an injury.
Yeah.
And then Stephon Diggs last year did not work out. They lost Brent's guy, Mr. Joe Mixon, to injury, so they really have. I mean, it's been more relegated to Nick Chubb, but they don't have the Nick Chubb of yesteryear at running back. Their big problem has been their offensive line. If there's a group of worst offensive lines in the NFL, it's the Texans, it's the Browns, and maybe the Bengals are the candidates for worst offensive lines in the NFL, by the way, in my view.
Well, DeMeco Ryans, coach of the Texans, he's a strong defensive-minded coach, and the Texans' defense is too good for rookie Cam Ward to handle. So I'm going to say, go Texans, win, baby. Let's go.
So you got him 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, that's right,
3 touchdowns and a win for Houston.
And a win.
Okay.
And the first win
there you
for
go.
him. They're finally going to have a W.
All right, boys, let's get some final thoughts, and I'll wrap this up. We'll turn to Mr. Dave Greenshow. Dave, wrap us up here. Get any final thoughts about the Browns and the weekend here?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what you think on the Browns game.
I'm going to give it here in a minute. Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got to say this. I actually think this is going to be an interesting test for the Browns defense. I think it's their biggest test of the season. From the best offense easily they faced. And I know we faced some good ones with Lamar and the Ravens, and to start the season, Burrow and the Bengals, and then last week that Packers team was playing really well, particularly Jordan Love at quarterback. But with the weapons they have, and plus on the fast track in Detroit, this is the toughest challenge. Best offense they faced easily so far.
Oh, by far.
By far. I'm looking forward to it. I also want to see if Flacco in this passing game can get anything going.
Yeah. Steve, give me final thoughts.
Well, guys, it'd be awesome if the Browns, if they could beat Detroit. Now we're talking. Now we're back in it
a little bit.
We're back in it, and
because the Bengals, and we talked about some of the.
Yep. And I want to be right on my picks since I've been solid so far. I want Tampa Bay to. I thought I'd get a little ballsy a little bit because I need Tampa Bay. I want Tampa Bay to get
Dave give you the kudo
the
bar?
Super Bowl Eagles.
Hey, I'm gonna take the L here. I've taken 3 L's in a row, so I need to get off the schneid.
Yeah,
so,
he's got to do better.
Yeah, go.
You went a little more conservative.
Yeah.
I went a little more wild, but you got to do that.
We got to give you a kudo. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no. But, no, guys, for as far as, we're going to wrap things up here, but as far as what I think about the game, I think it'll be close. I think it will be, I think the Lions are going to win this by a field goal, 24-21. I think it'll be close.
Really?
It'll have to be right at the end, and the Lions would. But I'll tell you right now, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think that Browns defense right now is on a roll, and they're going to keep that momentum. And I don't think Goff goes off. I think that score is pretty moderate. You know, I don't think it's a high-scoring game.
I see your 24. I don't know about your 21.
Yeah, you think the Browns don't get because you know why you're saying that?
Yeah.
Because the track record is they haven't been getting 21 points.
This passing game, I mean,
and they did get it in garbage time. Or no, they got close. Even with garbage time, they still lost 41-17 to the. But you know what though? This one I believe is on turf, right? This game, so maybe Flacco does a little better on that. I don't know.
Maybe they get a run game going.
Maybe they get a run game. And they always say with turf guys, receivers can do better on turf sometimes, you know, as far as traction. So we will see. But guys, we're going to sign off here. Take care.